Hi. Okay, it's time for another mini reading. I've decided to just look at previous week names of the people that was interested in a reading. And the name that came up was Lynette Rink. So we are going to look at her chart and do a very short reading because soon we will have load shedding again. I'm going to do share screen and just find her profile. I think it might be that one, yeah. That is her profile. So again, just shortly, when we look at the profiles, there's two triangles, the downward facing triangle, which is the first 30, more or less first 35 years of your life. And then you have the upward facing triangle, which is after 42. So between 35 and 42, there's a transition period where you move from the more physical experience, where we really learn to how to cope in this physical world and learn to be successful in the world. Then we transition to a deepening of our codes. And all of that are preparing us for our soul destiny. So the system is based on the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, and Hebrew is one of the 5 creation languages that was part of the original creation of the earth. Another one is Sanskrit, and I still can't remember the other 3, but there are 5 of them. Okay, so if we look at Lynette's profile, her physical challenge number is 11-2. And usually the physical challenge number tells us more about the home that you've decided to come into when you incarnate into Earth. And that will usually set up your life in a challenging way. So number 11 is about structure, and number 2 is about support. So the house that Lynette chose could either have been very structured, everything precisely on its place, learning about really being neat and tidy, or it can be the opposite, that it was totally chaotic and that she wanted to come and learn the opposite because of the chaos that it was in. And then the 2 is support. So she could have been very supported, in fact, overly supported in a way that can become codependent and not knowing how to cope on her own. And on the other side, it can also be not supportive at all. And in the end, we learn how to support ourselves. So that challenge number is really about structure and support. There's a big duality around this one, and that is the life and death polarity. It can be physical death, but mainly it's also about the death of old belief systems and old ways of being. So she really wanted to get out of the box and find out other ways of being in the world. And that's a challenge that she set up for herself. And in a way, what did I want to say now? Okay, so that is a challenge that we really want to grow from. Okay, then her physical talents is also 11 too, which is very interesting. So sometimes when a challenge number and a talent number are the same, it means that it's actually much easier to access that challenges, and the challenges won't be so difficult. So in a way, there might have been already some balance in that way. So she's already got the talents, and usually we always lead from our talent position because that is something that we've already owned and have already had success with. The challenge numbers is stuff that we've really bring over from either past lives, or it can also run in our ancestral lineage and some stuff in our lineage that keeps on repeating and that we really want to heal in this lifetime. And for Lynette, having that in a physical talent number means that she actually has that in her bag already, and that would make that challenge much, much easier. Then the new goals that she set for herself, and interesting, she's got that same number there as well. It's the 12-3 in the physical goals. Now, number 12 is about divine knowledge. People with that number is very expansive and they like to learn. They're always reading books, learning things, going on courses, really has a big, expansive mind. They are extremely good teachers. You can also call them the teacher of the teachers. Um, so she has the ability within her to be a teacher. The number 3, in that same sense, is about divine expression. So it's really that she wants to share the knowledge that she's gained over so many eons and that she's ready to share that to the world. And it can be by the spoken word. Number 3 is really about expression, but it can also be in writing a book or expressing it in some other way through art or anything. Okay, that's a physical goal. Then we go to the spiritual triangle, and here she has a spiritual challenge as number 13-4. And just again, the number 13, where you see a double number, from 1 to 9 is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So it's basically a double number. But from 10, you must add number 1 plus 3 is 4. So in that number 13, you have to have 2 vibrations, the 13 vibration and the 4 vibration. 11 is 1 plus 1 is 2, or 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. So her spiritual challenge number is 13-4, where 13 is actually the divine feminine number. So she really wants to bring in or connect to the divine feminine. And the divine feminine is all about unconditional love, really loving unconditionally. And in a challenge position, life will set you up with challenges to learn you how to love unconditionally. Now, because it's a challenge, sometimes in past lives, you closed your heart because of stuff that happened. And you have a lot of protection around your heart. And sometimes when we protect things, it can come over to the rest of the world that you are very hard and inaccessible. So in this lifetime, you really want to learn to be unconditionally, to love unconditionally. And the number 4 is the divine abundance number. There's also a polarity theme playing out with that number, which is fertility or unfertility to fertility. Usually people who have that number activated, they can double anything that they put their hands on. So if they put seeds in the soil, they will grow and multiply. People with green fingers, lots of times they have number 4s. Oh, if you're on a business, you can double the money. Or even if you want babies, you can very easily make more babies. When it is in a challenge position, that might be more of a challenge, and people with number 4s in a challenged position might find difficulty with fertility. Okay, so number 13-4 is very much the divine feminine number, and it's all about abundance. And that is a challenge numbers to make money. Sometimes you lose a lot of money, so it's really in the process of losing money and getting money that you learn to respect money and to have gratitude for every cent that you earn. Then the spiritual talents is again the 12-3, which is the same as the physical goals. So when a talent that is already stuff that you've learned, it may be that your mother or some of your ancestors are very good teachers. The number 12 is very much about the truth teacher. So you want to learn a lot. You're always reading, always doing courses, always expanding. And for number 12, it's sometimes very difficult to sit still. They're always on the go, always have stuff to do. And the challenge for them is to make time in a day to just sit down and do nothing. to learn to meditate or to just lie in a bath and relax, because their nature is to really be on the run all the time. Okay, and then number 3 again is also about expressing that knowledge, and she already has that as a talent, so it will be easy to do that. And we always lead with our talents, and then we set for ourselves high ideas of stuff that we can do to activate our challenge numbers. Our gifts of gold is underneath our challenge numbers. Then as a spiritual goals, he's got the number 19. Number 19 is the divine laughter. It's all about having fun and seeing the humor in things. Sometimes we can be so serious, especially people on a spiritual path can make life very serious. So the number 19 is really bringing in humor and laughter. Um, it's also like a divine space holder, so you can hold space for activities to happen, to bring in spirit into matter. So sometimes people that are artists, they can make beautiful paintings, and say the paintings or sculptures they made during a healing process, all that energy and the healing that they found for themselves in making that artwork, if other people buy it and they just look at it, there's sort of that transmission of what went into the painting that comes from there, and it can bring healing for the person that buy it without them going through that whole creative process. So there's a big energy of what you do, whatever you do, you can transmute that energy, and that can bring healing for the people around you. And then the number 1 is all about divine unity. And that's actually the divine masculine. So she's got within herself the divine masculine and the divine feminine numbers. And then that can be in a very, she can live her life in a very balanced way if they are all activated. So the story around is actually preparing her for the number 15-6, which is in the center. And the number 15 is about the divine mind. I also see that as the multidimensional number. So there's extreme universal wisdom within her, which she has gathered in that numbers, and then she wants to express it. And number 6 is divine inspiration. So it's all about inspiring people around you. So number 15 is really you've got connection to the multi-universe, and very close to your guides or angels, whoever guides you, your higher self, and you bring that knowledge down and actually share that. And you've got a lot of numbers, which are the number 11s are also the truth teachers, and this is the teachers of unconditional love. So in number 15-6, it's really bringing universal wisdom and teach that to the world. And the 6 is then very much about inspiration, and it's also about the soul-aligned business. Okay, that was your program, Lynette. I hope you find something in it, and please write in the Facebook page what you got from that. It's nice to share and see if this rings true to you. It was lovely to see your profile, and thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you.